So in 1930, Bernardo, the owner of Bentley, took a bet in a hotel in Cannes that he would beat the Blue Train, the France Le Blue Train, on a race to Calais. But he said that he would be in his club in London before the Blue Train made Calais. And he did. He actually beat the train by 4 minutes. So this is what we did today, is we commemorated this 1930 great train race that happened in France, and we're doing it in Heidelberg. So Heidelberg, we call it the new gateway to the past. And we want to have more of these functions, more of these events at this wonderful venue that we call the Heritage Museum. And we invite you to come and visit us, come have a hamburger and come drink our beer in Heidelberg.
My name is Chris Van, and I'm one of the organisers of this event called the Heidelberg Great Train Race. It's quite an exciting event, and what separates it from regular shows is that it's dynamic. We ride with the train and we have the planes overhead, so it's a really fantastic occasion, and it makes for some great photographs. So this is my car. It's a 1931 Model A Ford. It was actually my dad's first car. It was bought in new in 1932 by a gentleman who traded his ox wagon in, and it's been my daily driver for about 15 years, and a Model A Ford really does drive very well in modern conditions, and it's a great pleasure and a privilege to be able to do that.
Hi, I'm Jason Crevier. I've got a 61 Corvette here with me today. It is the last of the Series 1 Corvettes that were actually brought to life, and it was the first series whereby you got the Stingray tail, which came onto the cars, which became iconic in the next versions of the cars moving forward. In terms of what it is, if you have a look around, we've got absolutely stunning cars, stunning people, and we're at the Heidelberg Train Museum right now, which was the home of a very nice collection for many years in terms of classic vintage vehicles, which was held here, which then moved up through to Franschhoek.
Good morning, my name is Nels van Ternel. Next to me, my wife Marion. The car we're sitting in is a 1922 Bugatti Type 13, which was built by the factory for the 1922 Isle of Man TT races. After that, it was sold to Bunny Marshall, who raced it at Brooklands, and the car came out to South Africa in 1924 after being bought by a guy by the name of Frosty Lancaster. He ran the car in Natal. The car stayed there for many years. My dad acquired the car in 1968 and restored it. I inherited the car in 2007. What makes the car very special is that it is what is called a full breccia. It was built for racing and nothing but racing. Unique features: the crankshaft runs on ball bearings, doesn't have any fuel pumps, anything like that. The fuel pump was the riding mechanic sitting next to the racing driver, who had an air pump on the side of the car, which continuously was pumped to pressurize the tank, which pushed the fuel through to the engine.
We're here in Heidelberg, in the beautiful town of Heidelberg, at the museum. We're on this great train race. We've driven down from Johannesburg. I'm in a Bentley Special. It's a car that I've made out of bits and pieces of Bentleys, right from the very early ones up until the 1940s. And we're having a lovely lunch here, enjoying ourselves. About 40 cars came down, and we drove on the station with the old steam train. And we had a lot of fun today. So I recommend buying yourself an old car and having some fun with it.
Hello, I'm Dawn, and we're here on Heritage Day at the Heidelberg Airfield at the Great Train Race, and this is in a 1937 Plymouth.
This Plymouth is a 1937 P4 Deluxe Cabriolet, a Canadian-built Plymouth. It originally belonged to one of the founders of the Pistoning Club, Harold Mencken. The car was restored about 20 years ago.
I'm Isak van der Walt, and I'm sitting in my father's XK 120 1955. The car is called an XK 120 because it could travel at 120 miles an hour, which was phenomenal for the time. 1955 was the year this one was produced, and subsequently they made XK 140s and 150s, all that could go faster and faster. My dad purchased this car fairly restored in the early 2000s. We did add some wire wheels to this just to finish off the look, and it really goes well. It's a really fantastic car to have, and it's really low maintenance, and we really love it.
My name is Stephen Helm, member of the Vintage Motorcycle Club in South Africa. My bike is a Sunbeam 500cc 1924, obviously made in England. It's a side valve, it has done the DJ, very old form of motoring, but you can get a good 80 kilometers an hour out of the bike, a 3-speed, 4-stroke motor, very original. As I said, it has run the DJ, which is 650 kilometer run. And we use these bikes. We don't put them in a museum, we ride them every year and as much as possible.
Good morning, my name is Gavin Walton and this is my 1936 AJS. It's a side valve 500cc, not very powerful, but it's a joy to ride and it's done several DJs. I've owned it since 2005 when I did my DJ, and it's done me proud.
Hi, I'm Martin Davis. This is my 1929 Ariel 550 side valve, 3-speed box. Done many DJs on it. Very reliable bike and great fun to ride.
Okay, the car's a 1923 Rolls Royce. It's the first small, inverted commas, Rolls Royce that was made, and it was brought from England about 4 years ago. It's an owner-driver car as opposed to the kind of car that would be driven by a chauffeur. It is fairly unusual in that it has a small body with 2 doors and it's convertible, and it has the fittings of the older series of cars, being 23. It carried on until 28, where it started becoming a bigger car. This particular one is last restored many years ago, and because of that it's got what's called a patina. That means it's not looking new, it looks well used, which is what I like in a car. Some of its features are that the headlamps dip by flipping up and down, and the windscreen opens, and it's got a dicky seat, which means the boot back opens and forms a backrest, and the cover flips down to be a seat. It's a very underpowered car. It's sort of a mobile lounge. It's a unique body in that it was made in Nottingham by a little-known company. The style of body is a doctor's coupe, being the kind of car that doctors would go to visit their patients in. And it's a dear old thing, and I love it.
So this is the end of the Great Train Race 2019. We've had 42 wonderful cars from a 1915 to 1981 Silver Shadow, and I'm here with Al Capone at the end of our wonderful day. And Al Capone, tell us about your car.
It's a 1928 Dodge. It's not one of the Al Capone cars, but it's in the era of Al Capone. And yeah, it's been a great day.
Did you enjoy the day?
Absolutely.
And will we see you again next year?
Yes, you will do, definitely.
Well, that's from Al Capone, and that's from the Heidelberg Train Race 2019. We'll see you here next year.